Hello there, Neil here. Today we're learning about asthma, so how it happens, how we can spot it and how we treat it. Everyone up for this? Good, let's go. Asthma is a life-threatening condition, so we're going to have to be able to understand it, spot it and treat it. Right, first thing you need to know about asthma is it's a constriction of the muscles in the lungs. It basically prevents our asthmatic from breathing out. Breathing in's okay to a certain point, but then they get full and they just can't get the air out, so that causes a state of panic. The two main things that trigger it, so you've got the particulate asthmatics, so that could be dust, pollen, mold, animal fur, something like that, which can actually go into the lungs and start that constriction process happening. The other type of asthmatic is the activity-based one. So they could be overexerting themselves and for some reason the muscles go into spasm and that triggers the asthma attack. So the signs of an asthma attack, whether it be particulate or activity-based, is an inability to talk, difficulty breathing, they may well be coughing, and with the cough you'll hear a sort of wheeze. I don't know if I can simulate it, I'll give it a go. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, so they have this cough and wheeze. They'll look quite pale, quite panicky as well, and depending what they've been up to, they may also have a bit of a sweat on as well. A really big warning sign is a blue tinge around the lips. Okay, the blue tinge is called cyanosis, which is a sign of hypoxia. Look, don't worry about all the posh words. It's basically they've not got enough oxygen in the bloodstream and it shows in the lips when they turn blue. Okay. They will be in a state of panic and they might not be doing things that are good for them. Yeah, so they sit down in a sort of hunched over position or they lean up against something. They do something called tripoding, like you can see here. And they also have a bit of a chin poke thing going on as well. Now the chin poke doesn't help breathing either, so they're compressing their lungs and really hyperextending their throat, which makes breathing even more tricky. How are we going to treat them? Or how are we going to help them? Well, the first thing to do is think about the environment they're in. Is it a dusty environment? Are there pets in the area, pollen, that kind of stuff? And if you can, move them to some cleaner, fresher air. If it's an activity-based thing, stop them doing the activity. We want to get them sat down properly, not hunched over with a chin poke. So let's think about giving them some assistance. If you can sit them at a table with their elbows up on it, that's really going to help them out. Okay, it'll naturally straighten up the body, and if you can tell them to imagine some string pulling them straight up through the top of the head, that should also bring the head into a more natural alignment, which should also help breathing. Try and take the mind off that they're having an asthma attack. Certainly easy with children because you can get them to try and recite the alphabet or count to 10. Anything that involves them thinking about doing something other than breathing should help get the air out. Now this isn't the cure, this is a stopgap until you can actually find their inhalers, their puffers. Okay, so once we've found their inhaler, if it's on the person, they may need help. They should, if they're old enough, be able to administer or take their inhalers themselves. Once they start taking their inhaler, we become basically a counter and a timekeeper. They're allowed 1 or 2 puffs of their inhaler every 2 minutes, so it's up to us to just keep a track of the time and prompt them every 2 minutes to see if they need their inhaler again. Now, if they get up to 10 puffs of their inhaler and it hasn't done anything for them, that's when things get a little bit more tricky and more high drama. We're going to have to call the emergency services because obviously it's a really severe asthma attack and they need medical assistance. I don't know if anyone's heard about it, but the guys turn up and they put them on something called a nebulizer. Right, so what are we going to do while we're waiting? Well, actually, you may have seen other YouTube films on treatments where they say 10 and stop, but fortunately for us, there has been a change in the sort of guidelines in the policy. So once you've done your emergency services call, you can actually prompt them to start taking their inhaler again, 1 or 2 puffs every 2 minutes, and hopefully the paramedics should arrive in good time and get them on the nebulizer. Okay, so that's a treatment for an asthma attack. If they don't have an inhaler at all, so that's a straight up emergency services call. Just try and keep them calm, keep them trying to talk so they can actually get some fresh oxygen in every now and then, and we'll just monitor them until the help has arrived. Okay, the inhalers themselves, they come in different shapes, sizes and colours. Most people I think are familiar with this one. This one's Ventolin, but you get other brand names as well, Salamol and a few others. So basically they have to shake it and then take their 2 puffs. Right, this inhaler here is a preventer type, so it's brown generally, so Becotide, and what that's supposed to do is help stop the airways constricting. Okay, it doesn't actually help during an asthma attack, but it's just so you're aware, if you open someone's bag and you see 2 different types, you're going for the blue. Cool. Right, so if you go in the bag, you may also notice a big tubey thing there. These kind of things, I don't know if you've heard of these, they're called aero chambers, or more commonly referred to as spacers. This one's actually for a little person. I don't know if you can see that. It's got teddy bears on it, and it's got this soft face cover as well. So the way that they're utilised, the inhaler gets shaken, it's put in there, that goes over the mouth and nose of the child in this case, or if it's an adult one, you'll just see a mouthpiece. 2 pumps in there, and then all they do is breathe. Yeah, so we're 10 breaths, and that should hopefully be enough to actually start alleviating the asthma symptoms. If it's still not working, another 2 puffs after 2 minutes, and you just keep going down that route. Just for any asthmatics that are watching this, spacers are highly recommended because it's a better way of taking the Ventolin. Now there are other kinds of inhaler out there. Another one I have with me today is it's called an AccuHaler. I'm a bit childish, so I sometimes call it the flying saucer inhaler. I don't know if anyone's seen one of these before. It's basically for people who can't tolerate the aerosol style inhaler. So it does exactly the same thing, but instead of an aerosol, it's actually a powder. So inside here, there's blister packs with loads of little pockets in. What they have to do is open it up. There's a little lever just on the side there. So what they have to do is flip that lever down, which pops a blister. The dust settles inside and they inhale it that way. Okay, same sketch, 1 or 2 puffs until the asthma attack is over. So hopefully now we understand what causes asthma. We know how to spot the signs of asthma happening. And we should now already know how to help someone through their asthma attack and what to do if it's more severe. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, I'm going to be cheeky and ask for a little tap on the subscription button just down there. Please ring the bell as well. That way you can be alerted every time I upload. If you've liked it, please smash a like down there as well. And if there's any additional stuff you want to say, please put a comment. If there's any hints and tips that you think I need to know, put it down there as well. If you thought I was bad, please say why I was bad, because I can only improve with constructive criticism. So thank you very much. Cheers for now. See you next time. Bye.